Okay, here we are for our first match with Red Deck wins, and we won the die roll, which is pretty good. And this hand's pretty sick. It's got 3 lands, which is pretty much the perfect number. We have a removal spell, and we have a Goblin Cohort. All I need now is to draw a creature next turn, and then turn 4 is going to be quite explosive. See, one thing that is really good about Stompy over this deck, as far as Burning Tree Emissary goes, is you have Vault Scourge. So you actually have a good chance of being able to use both green mana. To not just cast a 2-drop. So that is something to keep in mind. Delver, huh? Ooh, that's a good card. Alright. Well, we're going to burn the Delver first, just in case my opponent has Daze. We'll see what my opponent wants to do about it. And then we'll go ahead and play the Crisp Mage. Shouts to Chris Pakula. Hope you get into the Hall of Fame soon, dude. And we're going to go ahead and attack for 2. And then, I don't know. Next turn is hopefully explosive, I suppose. The good thing is, Crisp Mage also is not discard a card at random, as were most cards back in the day. Because this is right around the time I started playing when I was a really little kid. And it always used to really, really tick me off that most of the cards were discarded at random. I hated that part of the game. Because Pokemon did that crap. And I didn't like it. But, either way. Okay, so my opponent chose not to... That was a good card. Not to use... or chose to not shuffle with Ponder. But they also don't have Counterspell up. So I'm going to take full advantage and go ahead and play Goblin Bushwhacker with Daze back up, which is pretty fun. And I'm going to get in for 6-10, put my opponent to 8. And now I have Crisp Mage up, and I have 5 power worth of dudes on the board. Sorry for the person outside. It's pretty much just upside from this point on. So we'll see what happens. Looks like a Spire Golem's coming down. Okay. Spire Golem is fine. It's not the easiest to deal with. Okay. Did not expect to draw a mountain there. But we're just going to pass the turn. I can't attack with the Goblin Cohort, so there's no point in attacking just to get in 1 damage. So we're just going to go ahead and play the Goblin Cohort. Oh, no, not attack, because I can't attack with the Goblin Cohort. Drawing 5 lands there is pretty unlucky in a 17-land deck. I have drawn 5 lands within the first 10 cards, which kind of sucks. But not much you can do about it. You usually want to be like 1 spell or 2 ahead. If my opponent has Ninja here, it wouldn't be the worst, because then I would assume they're going to play Spire Golem. Or if they don't replay it, what that means is they can't block. And then if they do replay it, they won't have mana up to Counterspell. The only thing that would be bad here is if my opponent has a Snap. That would suck a lot, but they didn't. So we're going to play Jack Familiar. And if my opponent has a Spellstar Sprite, I will Crisp Mage the crap out of it. Okay, so there's a Spell Stutter. We're going to go ahead and Crisp Mage it. Looks like my opponent has 2 Spell Stutters that they're willing to use right now. So we'll see how that works out for them. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just forgot. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and attack for 5 and get in for 3. Because at this point, any damage I get in is going to be really, really good. You just want to get in as much damage as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. My opponent will most likely block the Burning Tree Emissary. You don't really want to block the Goblin Cohort because that requires me to draw a creature every single turn. So it's in my opponent's best interest to block the Burning Tree Emissary. Or not. Can we go ahead and remove auto yields? Just in case. They have like a bounce spell and I want to replace something. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and say go. I'm going to go ahead and F6 actually. There's really no point in not doing that. My opponent's a 4. So, pretty close to winning the game. Okay. See what my opponent does with this ponder. Alright, my opponent chose not to shuffle, so I don't know if that's good or bad for me. Another Spire Golem. Okay. Creature with haste would help. A lightning bolt would also not be bad, because then if I put my opponent to 1, they have to deal with the Curse Mage, or, well, you know. Alright. There's a creature with haste, so that is actually game if they don't have a Vapor Snag. Or a Piracy Charm, I guess. I suppose if they have main deck Hydroblast, it would be game. So let's go ahead and attack with everything. I don't think I can afford to sit back and be a tryhard here. If my opponent has Vapor Snag, they have Vapor Snag. Yep, and if they don't, I just win the game. In that spot, you can play it safe, but assuming your opponent doesn't have the Vapor Snag, you just gave them an extra turn to draw something, and I don't find that to be a very good idea. So, against Fairies, against Delver Blue, I should say, it's a little difficult to sideboard for me, because you don't really want to screw the deck up too much, but Sparksmith is good. It's reoccurable. I don't like Smash Smithereens. Just to deal with Spire Golem, I don't like it. I don't like Chain Lightnings. I do like Electricaries. I don't like all of them. And I like taking out one Goblin Heel Cutter. I think Reckless Abandon is not its best, and I like Death Spark better. As far as Curse of the Pierced Heart goes, I like having Electricary and stuff on the draw, rather than using Curse of the Pierced Heart. Curse of the Pierced Heart is really for, like Tron, or, like, Blue Tron decks, or Teachings. Not so much Delver. But maybe on the play, if it gets to that point, we can reconsider it. This hand's pretty good. I mean, if I draw a land, I'm going to be really good. So, I don't see a reason not to keep it. If I don't draw a land, I'm going to be kind of screwed. But, hopefully... hopefully I do draw a land. Is this a turn 1 Delver? Alright. Do my opponents scry to the bottom or the top? I did not draw a land. They scry to the bottom. Okay. I have one more draw step to draw a land before I get really screwed. So, hopefully I draw a land. Guess we'll find out. Hopefully my opponent doesn't flip. They did not flip. That's good for me. Wonder what they bottomed. Keeping their hand. They might have bottomed a land, but I guess guess we'll find out. They chose not to shuffle and played a land. Okay, fair enough. They did not attack because I could still... Well, no, I can't block. Oh, I just missed the damage. Yay! Alright, we drew a land. Emissary, go! Don't get dazed or hydroblasted. No! Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, you suck. You didn't have daze in game 1. That's a pain in my tuchus. Alright, fair enough. Well, I can't attack. I wish I could, but I can't. My opponent's going to flip the Delver most likely now into a Preordain. Okay. Yep. Tick 3. I think I'm going to go for the Magma Jet on the Delver, depending on what my opponent does. We'll have to wait and find out. Another cohort. Yeah, I'm just going to pass, and on my opponent's upkeep, I'm going to go for the Magma Jet and hope that they don't have another Daze, because that would really suck. I think that's just better to go for the Magma Jet here. See if that works out for me. No way to tell if it will. At least my opponent can't Spellstar Spread it. I am very good at being an anti-spell starter's right hand right now, which is a lot more useful than you may think. Wow, it actually went through. Okay. We're gonna bottom one and keep the other. And the reason why is I want to have the opportunity to Goblin Heel Cutter, but also I want to be able to resolve these guys with Daze protection backup, I guess. Also, if I draw any more 1-drops, I want to be able to play 2 spells a turn. I can tell you this now. I'm going to play Sparksmith next turn. Because I want that out before I want the Mudbrawler cohort. I'm not going to be able to go as ham as I want to against my Delver opponent right now, because they're so set up. And also, if they're going to counter my Sparksmith, they're not countering my cohorts or anything. Alright, so we're going to go Sparksmith. My opponent went top. But they didn't have any counter magic to protect their Delver, so I'm quite curious as to what they have. They probably topped a counterspell? Yeah. Okay. So they topped a counterspell. That's fine. I don't mind them topping the counterspell there. I don't mind them counterspelling there. Maybe that was bad. Looks like they topped counterspell twice, maybe? Or a counterspell and a Hydroblast. That's pretty good. So I'll go ahead and play Mudbrawler Cohort. And then if it gets countered in some way... Okay, so they top 2 counterspells, so either way it wouldn't have worked. And we'll go ahead and play this Jackal Familiar, and then I can start attacking for 4 next turn. I don't mind them using their counterspells on the cohorts at the moment, because technically the most important card in my hand is Heel Cutter, because of the ability to make a creature not block. And they drew a land this turn. Okay, so... Is this a ninja? Or is it Fate of... Really? You bring in Stormbound Geist against me? That's kind of weird. I guess they just want to become more controlly. Ooh, that's a good card. Okay, we'll get in for 4. And then, I'll play Sparksmith. What the heck is this? Oh, Vapor Snag. Okay. Well. Yeah. Yeah. That's better. My opponent's down to 1 card. I don't have to actually use the Sparksmith. I can use it if I need to. No, yeah. Getting the Sparksmith out there right now is probably better, because the cohort has haste. I mean, the thing is, I could play cohort. That's annoying. I could play cohort, and I know it sets up more damage, but I think the Sparksmith has more revenue, because it deals with Ninja of the Deep Hours, it deals with Spellstar Sprite, it deals with Fairy Miscreant, you know. And my opponent just topped again. Deals with Delver, which is annoying. My opponent did not attack. I don't think my opponent knows how Stormbound Geist works. Unfortunately, it is not the best card of all time. Gonna go ahead and poke off this Delver before I play both of my dudes. And I'm gonna play this cohort. I think I might hold the conscripts, actually, in case my opponent's last card is a Spellstarter Sprite. Now, my opponent most likely is drawing a spell next turn. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, because they played a Delver into an active Sparksmith, but topped both cards. So might play a Spire Golem next turn. Could play... dude, I don't know. My opponent's playing so weird, I really don't know. I'm just going to pause so that there's not much dead air. I think my opponent's just on tilt, because they played a land, didn't do anything, and still refuses to attack with the Stormbound Geist. Alright, I'm going to play this conscripts ahead of time. I just want to see if my opponent has a Spellstar Sprite or not. Yep, I was right. Go me. You're a spirit, not a fairy. You don't counter. And then I'm going to play the cohort. I just want to get in 8 damage and put my opponent to as dead as can be. I should be at 4 less health right now and be in a bit of a predicament with the Sparksmith being used, but that's just not the case. I can't lose at this point. I win next turn no matter what, pretty much. Because my opponent is taking 8, and they can only draw 1 card. I mean, assuming they don't draw Gush into, like, Spire Golem, in which case I would still win because they have no counterspell. And I can deal 4 and make a guy not block, so this game is just about wrapped up. That is pretty much what's going to go on here. Alright, pretty much my deck did what it was exactly supposed to do, and even the Delver deck kind of did what it was supposed to do, but I got less flooded than the Delver deck, and I was able to out-card advantage the Delver deck there, which was kind of cool. Chris Mage and Sparksmith definitely showing their worth. So, alright, I will be back for the next match. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.